You know, taking the first right step in a UX project is very important because that is what will define how your project journey is going to be. You get a client comes to you, they explain you everything, but where do you actually begin the project? And if you don't know how to begin the project, how are you going to complete the project, how your journey is going to be? That is why the first step is the most important step of any UX design project. So let me go through, let me tell you what exactly I do to begin a project. And I have few steps, and I have made them as a course. You can find the link down, and let's go step by step. So the very first step, when you are assigned a UX project or a client reaches out to you, is information. A lot and a lot of information you need to have to understand what problem are you trying to solve, because that's where everything happens. What problem are you trying to solve, and how is this going to benefit the client and his audience, his user? And that will determine everything. Design is secondary, but the first thing is information. So all of this combined is called UX architecture, where you begin with understanding all the information is provided for the project. Like, you understand what kind of problem the client is trying to solve and what benefit it will have for the user and also for the client. Because any UX solution, any innovation is to try to solve a problem or to make things easier for someone. Okay, so that's why UX and innovation happens. So we try to solve a problem. So let's say a client came to you, he doesn't give you a document. Some clients will give you a document, but he doesn't give you a document. Then what do? Just the document or not the document is not going to help you out. So the first thing you do is you gather all the information, you understand what exact problem he's trying to solve, and then you do your research and you come up with all those solutions which can make his life easier and which can make his user's life easier, and then define them maybe in a document or maybe somewhere, but you definitely would have to define all the solution by understanding the exact problem. And your solution has to be focused on making things easy. It has to sell, it has to generate value, it has to add value, and it has to also generate revenue for the client. So the client is not just doing it for the sake of solving a problem. The client is creating a business to generate revenue. So he can serve his people, his employees, and everyone by solving a problem. So what you do, you create a perfect solution, not as a design, but as a document. You combine everything, that how your solution is going to help this client and his audience and his user. And you define the audience, you talk to client to define the audience, who are his audiences, because the audience can be different according to what problem is trying to solve. So let's say I'm building a application for a bike. An old guy who is 70-year-old, or a kid who is who who is below 17, or below 16 is not going to ride a motorbike. So the application would not be for those two categories. So you need to define your category as your target audience and user persona, that who you are building this app for. Are you building it for male? Are you building it for female? Are you building it for old generation? Or who are you building it for? So let's say sports bike. If you Yamaha has a lot of sports bike. A sports bike is generally ridden by male population, which is, I would say, like 70% male population, and from the age of you could say 17 or 18 to it could go around 45, and it could be both male and female, but the female I would count as less. Only, like, people who are really uh, into it, the women who are really into bike riding, they would have this application, and you would consider them as your audience. So what happens after you have defined your target audience? What do? You have to lay out things. You have to lay out things by creating user stories, wherein you would be able to define all the pages. What are all the pages going to be in the design? And then after you have your user stories, there are the two most important thing missing: user flow, as in user journey, and wireframes. User journey will help you connect the direction of the application, where the user will start and where he will go from there. What are all the places user is going to be? And wireframe. So let's I not just me, but a lot of veteran designers, what they do is they don't create designed wireframe, low fidelity wireframe. They create a sketch wireframe, because a low fidelity design wireframe might take 4 to 5 days, and client would not like to wait that long. So what do? You create a sketch wireframe, which is easier to do it with a tool, or you can do it with pencil and a paper, sketch paper, and you can design all those wireframes with your hand, and you can derive the simplest layout with indications, and that could really help you make the client understand this is how you're going to solve the problem, and you can win the project faster. You can win the UX project very fast. And once they agree that this is what they like, you might have some iterations, but once they agree this is what they like, believe me, I have worked on multiple projects, hundreds of projects. Once they understand the whole UX architecture, the wireframe, colors don't really matter a lot. It's just an element, it's just an object of the design. You have to take care of accessibility and everything else while you go forward, but your UX architecture, your wireframe, and the journey, all the parts of UX architecture are the most first important step you have to take. So that is where you begin the UX design, UX project, and this is going to help you win any UX project in the market in future. If you like this video, click the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll keep creating the same kind of videos.